Ciao, cosmic comrades. It's Carmen Karma here, and today I want to talk about manifestation. I think it is, I know it is one of the most searched topics on spirituality on the internet. Everybody's talking about it. It's an Ariana Grande song. What is manifestation? Okay? So, manifestation is the idea, is the practice of turning your thoughts and your desires into your reality. Manifestation comes from the Latin word manifestare. Not sure how to say that, but I'll get back to you. And it means to make public. It means to take your thoughts, your desires, and make them public. Make them seen by yourself and by other people. Not to toot my own horn, but I'm very good at this. And the funny thing is, we are all very good at this. I looked on YouTube and I saw all of these, headlines of like what you must do to manifest or how to manifest or, the number one rule to manifesting. Well, here's the thing. You're already doing it. When I first started to learn about manifestation, about spirituality, about all of these things, I realized that for me at least, there was this feeling like I can't do it. Or I don't know, I'm sorry. There was this feeling of like, I don't know how to do it. That I had to learn how to do this thing. And you don't. Well, you can learn to do it better, but you're already doing it. You're already manifesting through the way that you're thinking. Bottom line, what we believe we receive. That's an important thing to remember here. What you believe is what you will receive. And what you put your energy, where your energy goes, manifestations flows. That's a horrible rhyme, but I think you get what I'm trying to say. I want to use an example that I have from my own life where this came before I knew anything about spirituality. If you had said, is God real? I would have said, fucking no way. If you had said, is there a greater force working to support your well-being? I would have said, absolutely not. You're crazy. So this served as the example to me when I started learning about spirituality and when I started to understand how this all works. I looked back at this moment and realized, oh my God, I manifested that. So I was going through this very tumultuous time in my life. I had found out that my boyfriend had been cheating on me like the entire time that we were together. This motherfucker would get done with work, go fuck somebody, and then come home to my house where I had prepared a whole ass meal for him, and he was always saying, oh, I had to work late or all this. And like, this isn't new. Men have been doing this kind of shit for a long time. And I'm sure there are many people out here who have the same thing, but I digress. So I find out that he's been cheating on me this whole time. I decide, you know what? I'm going to go to work. I think it's good for me to keep my mind busy and not be like wallowing in these emotions. So I decide to go to work, and when I get to work, and mind you, this is a new job. I'm maybe like 2 months into this job. I'm very excited about it. It's what I wanted. It too was actually a manifestation now that I think about it. Pin that for another time. But I get to work and I go and I pull my boss over and I go, hey, can I talk to you really quickly? I just want to tell you something that's going on. And she's like, yeah, of course, there's something I want to talk to you about too. So we go into this back room and I sit down and I say, you go first. And she goes, we're going to have to let you go. You're fired. And I said, cool. My boyfriend just cheated on me. I took my check and I left. After that, I went through what Eckhart Tolle talks about, where like you hit this rock bottom and you kind of just crack. And there was this part of me that cracked. I remember I went and was with my parents and I was just trying to recover emotionally, and I was kind of numb. And I went to bed and I woke up the next day and I oddly felt fine. Like, of course I was still mentally upset, but there was like something deep down inside me that knew like this was the start of something really good for me. And that opened me up for more light to show up, for more things to come up. And I decided I wasn't going to rush and get another job. I decided that, as a matter of fact, what I was going to do was start taking better care of myself and take some time to figure out what it is that I wanted, what I needed out of life right now. So I quit smoking cigarettes cold turkey on a dime, and I started going to the gym 6 or 7 days a week. And I did that for like 7 months straight. And previous to this, I never had a 3-day streak in the gym. I would maybe go 1 day, 2 days, and then I wouldn't go again for months. I was not a regular gym goer by any means. And so I made these commitments to myself. And I remember sitting going, okay, if I could have anything, if I could have any job, what would it be? And what I really wanted was to be a creative director. That was my goal. And the negative thoughts in my mind were like, oh yeah, well, you haven't touched your camera since you graduated college. You have no portfolio. You've just been working in restaurants the last 3-4 years, however long it had been. Like, there's no way you are going to become a creative director. But then I paused. And the last thought that I said to myself before going to the gym or starting my day or whatever it was that I was going to do, the last thought I said to myself was, yeah, but if anyone could do it, you could do it. If anyone could figure out how to cahoots your way into a creative director position with no active portfolio, no recent experience, you could do it. So I stick to my commitments. I'm going to the gym. I'm not smoking cigarettes. I'm taking good care of myself. And then this moment comes where, like, I'm running out of money and I'm like, all right, I'm going to need to get another job. And a friend of mine who I haven't really been talking to, we kind of went on a no talking for a year thing, and we had just started to come back into each other's orbit. She calls me up and she goes, hey, I just got this job. I'm working for this company and they need a magazine designed. I said, cool, that's a big job. That's some good money. I'm down to do this. So I designed this magazine for them, and it's great. It looks good. I make some money. Things are really good. Then life continues to move along, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. And I get to a point where I needed to find another job. And I really did not want to go back working in restaurants, but it was the quickest way for me to make some money doing what I knew how to do well. So I jumped online. I found a job posting for this vegan restaurant that I had known about, and one of my closest friends has worked there for many years. So I'm like, okay, this is going to be it. I already know I'll get this job. So I get hired as the manager there, and I'm working there for a few months. I get this call from the company I had done the magazine for, and they said, hey, we need somebody to come on staff to help build our creative program. We need somebody to, figure out all of the creative for this company. And so I go in, I interview, and they give me the job. So I go in on my first day, I say hello to my boss, and he says, I want you to put yourself up on the website. Get your headshot, put your headshot on the website. I want you to be, to be part of the team, be visual on there. And I said, okay, but this is a new role and we didn't really discuss my job title yet. So what do you want me to call myself? What title do we want to use here? And he said, use whatever you want. And I said, okay, is creative director okay? And he said, yeah, whatever you want. So all of a sudden now I'm a creative director, and I didn't realize any of this at the time. I didn't realize that I had set this into motion many months before. It was so far away from that conversation I had in my head about, if anyone could do it, it's you. But here I am, boom, I did it. So I use that story to illustrate this point of one, the method of manifestation. And two, that you're already doing it. When you look back, you probably have already manifested so many things that you wanted and desired. This is sort of the Amazon Prime for your dreams, right? You go online in your head and you sift and sort and you say, okay, this is what I want. I want this dream, creative director. And I click order. Well, now here's the tricky part. Well, not even the tricky part, because it's actually easy. you don't get to pick how the shipping days. You don't get to pick how long it takes. You don't get to pick if it's UPS or the post office or a FedEx or whatever. You don't get to pick any of it. But you know you placed order. You know you've paid for it energetically. And now your job is to just sit in the knowing that it's on its way. But you don't get to know when or how. So like, I didn't get to choose the creative director position right away. And had I, and the genius behind it is that the universe knows better than you do. The universe knows much better than you the best timing and the best way for this to come to you. So had it been up to me, had I literally had a magic wand and said, bippity boppity boop, creative director, I never would have got that job at the vegan restaurant. And here's why that's important. Because what I did after the creative director position was launch and run an LGBTQ events company. The vegan restaurant that I worked at was the very first place that I threw an event. We had a fabulous, amazing drag brunch there. And it turned out to be, it was the perfect place to do it and the perfect timing to do it. And we sold out. I did 2 shows and we sold out, my very first one. And so I sit back and I go, I see. And there are many other lessons in there, but that was a big one. I wouldn't have chose a restaurant gig, and had I not chose the restaurant gig, I wouldn't have had this perfect container to launch my first event, which then spiraled into what I did for a few years, and through well over 100 events for the LGBTQ community. So I say all that to say, like, you're gonna get what you want, but maybe it doesn't come this month, or come next month, or come this year. But you got to trust that it's there. You know, I think many people, if you've done some manifestation research, you see like the phrase ask and it is given, right? Like if you ask for it, it's given to you, it's yours. So this is an important thing to understand because it's true. But that is the tricky part, is getting your beliefs around it, working on your beliefs. And so start small with these things, because once you start to see your ability to do it, then your belief gets stronger. Then your understanding gets stronger. So a lot of people talk about parking spots in manifestation, like manifesting the perfect parking spot, right? That's something that's kind of easy. It's not, trying to manifest a fucking castle or manifest something like that. It's this thing that you think might be believable. I started by thinking about parking spots. So I was on my going to the gym every day, almost every day, grind. And so I started reading about manifestation and I go, okay, I'm going to manifest the closest spot to the front door. And so I did my visualization. I imagined myself driving to the gym. I imagined myself turning down the aisle that I always go down. And I imagined this parking spot being there. I said, all right, it's mine. Asking it is given, bitch. It's going to be there. So I get in my car and I drive to the gym and I get there and it's not there. It's full. And I said, okay, well, maybe I just didn't do something right. And that's an important thing. We have to keep our minds open. We have to keep open to the possibility, even if it doesn't come, because that's how it works. That's how you strengthen your belief. So then I tried again, still no parking spot. Tried again, still no parking spot. And then I just kind of forget about it, to be honest. And then the next day I get that parking spot. I let it go. I wasn't trying to force it. I wasn't trying to action my way into it anymore. I had set this thing out and I sort of just let it be. And then I got it. And I was aware enough and present enough to recognize it. I didn't just park in the spot and go in the gym and stay in my head about, oh, I gotta do this, or this person's a bitch, or whatever. Like, I recognized, oh, the spot was here today. Okay, what did I do different? Well, I just kind of relaxed and let it be. And then the next day it was there. And then the next day it was there. And then the next day it was there. And that's when I coined the term princess parking. And that's what I call it when I get parking right in the front. And so now my belief is a little bit stronger. And I'm starting to see this parking spot thing happen in other places. And I am just recognizing, cool, princess parking. And that's it. I don't make it a big thing. I don't think I'm a fucking wizard. I just go, okay, this is in alignment with what these manifestation people are talking about. And I'm getting princess parking. And then it starts to happen damn near every time I go somewhere. And I go, wow, okay, now my belief is really strong. I'm expecting this to happen. And then it gets even deeper because now my friends see it and know what's happening. And now they are always the ones who want to ride in the car with me because they know always gets princess parking. Every single place we go, princess parking. And so now my friends have a belief like, oh, always gets princess parking, and their beliefs contribute to this. Now this princess parking is a assured thing, and now it still happens. Almost everywhere I go, I get princess parking. I want to take the time to say and recap some of this stuff. That's what I want to do. I want to recap some of what I've been talking about. So manifestation is very real, and you can manifest jobs, you can manifest parking spots, you can manifest clothes. I have a winter jacket that I saw on somewhere, this guy wearing a black jacket with a fur collar. I said, wow, that's very sexy. I would love a jacket like that. And then I just let it go. And then I go out for my birthday and I go shopping for myself, and I go to Nordstrom and I see this beautiful black jacket with a fur. I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna get it. Hold on. I mean, like, come on. How sexy is this coat? How sexy is this jacket, baby? Like, delivered. Black jacket, fur coat. Exactly what I had saw on the internet and said I would like a jacket like that. Time out. Too hot. Because you don't even have to really believe, because when I was getting the creative director job, I didn't know anything about this. I just believed that I could figure it out. And so, like, you don't have to believe in your ability to be a manifester. You just have to believe in your ability to achieve the goal that you're setting. And that's enough. You don't have to go into the woo-woo magic of, jackets and shit like that. But, like, it really is, if you believe you can do it, you can. And again, the trick is, like, we don't really get to pick the how we get there or how it comes to us. We just have to continue to do what makes ourselves feel good. And that is really pivotal in this, because if you're feeling negative, if you're feeling self-doubt, if you're feeling sad or shame, like, from that perspective, the thoughts that you have will not be the thoughts that guide you where you want to go. And I'm pausing that because I do realize, like, actually, even in my darker times, that has gotten me where I needed to go and served a purpose. So maybe it isn't about feeling happy all the fucking time. I'd like to actually strike that from the record and just follow your heart and do your best to listen to what you're thinking about and do your best to trust. And that trust has to be earned within yourself and from the universe. You've got to go out and practice this. So I encourage you to try something really small, like practices that that I learned when I was first starting was like, if you're going on a long car ride, maybe 30 minutes or longer, pick 3 things you'd like to see. 3 things that are you're likely going to see, but maybe are a little more specific. So like one thing that I did one time was I wanted to see vintage cars, I wanted to see sunflowers, and I wanted to see butterflies. That's what I set out to myself, and I was on about a 2.5-hour drive. So I'm driving, and I honestly forgot what I had asked to see. And then I'm trying to think of, like, what did I ask for? I don't even remember. And as I'm thinking about that, I see some vintage cars driving past me on the highway. I'm like, oh yeah, vintage cars. Then I'm almost to the lake, almost to where I'm going. I was going to a lake, and I see this house that I've driven past 1,000 times and never noticed this, with this giant array of sunflowers outside. Like, I'm talking a fence of sunflowers, a field of sunflowers on the left, like so many sunflowers. And you could argue, yeah, those have always been there, but I think part of manifestation is like inspiring you to look, right? I've driven past this house 1,000,000 times and never noticed this beautiful array of sunflowers. So here they are, these sunflowers, amazing, cool. I believed that these things would show themselves to me. And when I do and they don't, I don't get upset. I don't say I'm doing something wrong. I just go, it just didn't happen. I don't label it. I don't try to identify it. It just that didn't happen. Just like the parking spot. Okay, didn't happen. Maybe it will again. Maybe it won't. But I'm not assigning anything to it. I'm just staying neutral about it and allowing the universe to continue to bring it. And the more you do this, the more the stronger your belief in your ability to do it is. The stronger in your belief that the universe will bring you what you're asking for is. And when that becomes powerful enough, you really can navigate your life the way you want it to go, to a degree. I'm not perfect. I don't get to say this is what I want and then it comes every single time. Because once again, the universe knows better. And sometimes there are other things we need before we can get to that. And spiritual teachers will tell you, it's about getting your vibration, or, becoming a vibrational match to the thing that you want, right? That's an important part of manifesting. Becoming a vibrational match to the thing that you want. And how do you do that? Well, you've got to believe that you can get it. And you've got to understand that if you are feeling negative emotion, it's going to block you a lot of the time. Again, I want to put a pin in this, and I'm still exploring all this. So I don't want to put this video out here and make you think that I know how to do it 100%. I don't. I'm still exploring these ideas. I'm still exploring what I'm seeing the universe bring to me. But I want to really reiterate to people, you are already manifesting. You're already making your dreams come true. Just being here and seeing this video is probably a manifestation for you. You probably said to the universe or said to yourself at some point, I want to learn more about this. And now here's the opportunity to learn more about it right in front of you. So you're already manifesting. The trick is become more aware of what you're thinking about and what you're asking for and what you believe is going to happen to you. And start small. Pick one thing, pick a parking spot, pick some sunflowers, pick something that resonates with you that allows you to go out and test this. Because once you start to see it, the more and more and more, the momentum will build. And then soon you'll be able to do a lot more with it and you'll feel more comfortable. You'll say, okay, I need some money for this thing I want to go to, and trust that it's going to come. And you will inevitably find that little things will come to you, sometimes in the same day. Sometimes within minutes of asking, things will come. Our minds are very powerful. And when you're tuned in, when you're in alignment, which will be another video that I'll talk about, when you're in alignment, what that means is you feel good. Even if things are not great, you feel okay. Kind of like I was saying when I had gotten fired from my job and my boyfriend was cheating on me, even though all of this negativity was happening, I had the option to be really depressed. I had the option to be really sad and eat a lot of ice cream and be really fucking down. But for whatever reason at that time, I just remained neutral and just said, this is what it is. And I will find my way through this. And that's being in alignment even when things are not going the way you think that they would. And it's from that perspective that you don't feel a lot of anxiety, you don't feel a lot of depression, you don't feel a lot of sadness, although it might be lingering there. The core of who you are knows this is serving me in some way. This is helping me get to where I want to go and the things that I'm asking for. So, yeah, go out and manifest your dreams. Go out and manifest a parking spot. And comment in the comments below about things maybe you've manifested before, questions you might have. I'd love to be able to answer them in the comments, or maybe I'll create another video with some questions that people are asking me. Actually, I would really love to do that. I think that would be cool. So yeah, I hope this helps for you to understand that you're already manifesting things, and it's just about bringing yourself into the awareness of what I want, going on Amazon in order. I don't go on Amazon. I really do not like Amazon. But you get the idea. Go to your favorite small business, online store, preferably LGBTQ owned, and envision what you'd like to order. Press the order button and trust that it's going to come to you. And watch it unfold. And if it doesn't, try again. And if it doesn't, try again. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you joining me here today. I appreciate you being part of my first video that I've ever made. Introducing karma to the world. And I really hope that everything I'm saying resonates, not everything, because not everything is going to resonate, but I hope some of this resonates with you. And I hope that it helps you create more joy in your life and create the energy you need to bring the things that you desire into your life. Because once you ask for it, it is given at some point in time and in some way that we have no choice about, but it does come. So, ciao for now.